welcome to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. We are back. This is Jason at Hard Money Bankers, and next to me, Ian Horowitz from Equity Warehouse. And back in the studio, Gary Wilson. You might have heard our interview that we did with Gary a few weeks back, and we want to invite him back on to share a story with you, a story of one of the best deals that he had ever done. So, Gary, welcome back to the show. If you can, maybe just do a quick intro about who you are, and we can dive into a deal that potentially has changed your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I got my first lucky break in life was actually my grandfather. I was really interested in designing houses at 8 years old, and he showed me how to do that. He taught architecture in college like decades before. So I learned how to design houses when I was 8 years old, literally the full complete architectural plans. My mother bought me the T-square and the drawing board and everything. Then fast forward, my next big break was I was going to go to school at Virginia Tech for architecture, but I didn't get in right away. So I went to Old Dominion down by the ocean and met one of my lifetime friends now, Socrates, whose father showed us how to invest. When we got out of college, he helped us buy our first house. Not money. He didn't give us the fish. He taught us how to fish. But fast forward, I started investing myself, got my license, built a brokerage company. And, it's one of these lessons in life where if you just get in the game and swing the bat enough, you're going to get a lot of singles, some doubles, some triples, and a home run every now and then. And then once every blue moon, you're going to get a grand slam home run. So here's what happened. Launched this brokerage called Win Realty Advisors, January 2008, right when the recession was just, hitting the skids, man. It was rough. It was the worst recession in 80 years. But our brokerage grew sixfold during those first 3 years of the recession because we did a lot of investor business. We already had the model. We already had the clients. Well, our reputation grew. We were getting calls from like White Oak and BlackRock and all these hedge funds and mutual funds. I mean, one of them said, we need to deploy $100 million like right away. And I'm like, dude, I'm in Pittsburgh. You deploy $100 million here, you're going to change the landscape of the market. So in any case, what ultimately happened is tobacco commodities broker contacted one of my commercial agents and said, we're really serious. We want to invest in Pittsburgh. We want to buy some portfolios, and we need these portfolios to be managed. And I already had the brokerage company, already had property management, I had a title business, had everything we need. So this guy took us under his wings along with his attorneys and he did all the paperwork with the SEC to create a closed-end mutual fund. And a closed-end mutual fund, what that means is it's closed to everybody except whoever is invited, right? It's a closed entity. So he invited all his buddies from Wall Street to invest in this closed-end mutual fund that was going to deploy their assets to buy real estate. So I went out and found two portfolios. One was single-family homes, a bunch of those. Another one was a bunch of multifamilies, and they bought the multifamily portfolio. Another investor ultimately bought all the single-family homes. But I got all the commissions from those two portfolio sales, and then we also got the property management contracts for those two portfolios. So just imagine all these multifamilies we got for just focus on the multifamilies here. So what this company did is, like any hedge fund, they're gonna categorize their assets. Ones they're gonna keep, the ones they're gonna remodel and sell, the ones they're gonna remodel and keep, right? And the ones that are just gonna just sell flat out. So I got all those commissions, I got all the property management contracts on all those properties. And guys, I could have retired right then based on what we made on those deals. I could have just stopped right there, rode off into the sunset, and been a happy camper. But what it did is it lit the fire underneath me because I was dealing with typically, the biggest deals we had done were like $2 million at the time. Here we're dealing with, multi-millions and investors from all over the place. And it just opened up our world. Like it expanded exponentially and ultimately led to me building a big national real estate agent team that works with investors. But that one experience, I learned about the legalities of setting up a closed-end mutual fund. It was sort of like a syndication. I learned about how to collect properties to form a portfolio, how to market a portfolio, how to sell the portfolio, how to analyze a portfolio. I mean, it was like a crash course. It was that deal was worth way more than my college education that I got. And I got it in a much shorter period of time too. I mean, I was working. I mean, I was humping every day, but when it was all said and done, it all took about a year and a half. When the dust settled, man, I tell you, it was. I was operating in a completely different dimension as a result of that. It literally catapulted me in the whole new world of thinking bigger, dreaming bigger, and acting bigger. That one deal was it. You know.
Yeah, no, that sounds super powerful. I do have to ask, we normally don't do this, but I do have to ask, that phone call, how did you even get that phone call to be put into that situation that also ultimately got you to this next level?
Yeah. Well, it really was word of mouth. So I was written up in a newspaper because our brokerage was doing really, really well. I mean, we grew sixfold in the first 3 years of the recession. So while the other brokerages were dying, I mean, half the agents left the industry in those years of the recession. Half of them just gone, and yet our business was growing. So I'll just tell you, Caldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams are all trying to buy the brokerage, and I'm thinking, well, why would I sell this? This thing's like the goose laying the golden egg every day. And what I found out was big brokerages, they really didn't care about me and the brand, anything like that. What they wanted to do was kill the brand, take all of our listings. We had 187 listings at that time, and take the client list. And what they're doing is they're killing competition. When a company says, "Hey, we'd like to buy you, and we're going to give you $500,000," they're not being nice. They want to kill your brand. Well, one of the companies did not do that. They said, "Look, we'll do a more of a merger. You can keep your brand, you can keep your clients, and we'll still pay you on all your listings." And I said, "Okay," because I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to go back to the beach where I was from. So they happened to hit me at the right time. So I did that deal. But what happened is those activities, the word was getting out. Like there's a tool called Broker Metrics that all the brokerage houses can use to analyze other brokerages and agents and so forth. So hedge funds and asset managers also have that tool. They can see who's the good producers, who's doing the good deals. So all these guys did is they just researched and found out I was one of the few brokerages that was doing. I mean, and I'll just tell you, we did over 5,000 transactions in these few short years of being an independent brokerage. So, and it was all investor stuff. So we were like, we were it. We were what they wanted. That's how it happened. It wasn't like I didn't spend any money on marketing. I didn't do any of the podcasts. I don't even know if we had podcasts back then. No blogs. I mean, I was on social media, but it was, dumb stuff. It wasn't like a professional type thing. So it was our performance that allowed these guys to find us. And that's why they contacted us,
Yeah, dude, I love that. I'm glad that you nailed that point home at the end, that it was about performance and about doing what you did best and showcasing that. And they came and tracked you down. And that's absolutely awesome. So I'm excited that you did that deal. Really impressive. When we did the podcast a few weeks ago, what you've built and what that looks like today. It's been absolutely awesome to see. Gary, where's the best place people can find you if they want to reach out to you and learn more about what your brokerage does, and go from there?
Yep. So I've got 2 websites. One is realestatewithgarywilson.com. The other is globalinvestoragent.com. The first one with my name in it is more general purpose. Anybody can go there, agents and investors alike. There's a lot of stuff they can get for free, information, education, come to class and all that. The Global Investor Agent one is really for agents to see what's possible for them. And agents on our team, we showcase them there. And then also the consumers, the investors can find the agents in their areas on the website. In both cases, they can set up a call with me. You just put in your name and number, email, and they can also come to my Monday Night Live class every Monday. It's totally free, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. We don't sell anything. We don't buy anything. We don't recruit people. It's just straight up education. Well, they can get the link for that on the globalinvestoragent.com website, and they can go to class, meet people all over the country. That'd be a pretty good thing to do. If I was somebody out there right now looking for what to do next, I'd go to that class, Monday Night Live, get the link on the globalinvestoragent.com website,
Right on. Well, appreciate you coming on, telling us about the deal that changed your life. And guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. Do us a favor and like, comment, and share our broadcast. It helps the algorithm and helps us spread the word too. Till next time, thank you for tuning in.